A 40-year-old man went on a blind date for the first time, and secretly downed the woman's beer in one gulp, but just as he finished, the woman appeared in front of him. The man immediately pretended like nothing happened, focusing intently on the TV above, showing no respect to the woman at all. Only when she reminded him did he snap out of it. The two began introducing themselves. During the conversation, they were surprised to discover that the other was exactly the type they disliked most. The woman casually grabbed a piece of fried chicken, dipped it in sauce and started eating, planning to just finish the meal and go home. But the moment she took a bite, she sensed something wrong. Because the dish was too spicy, she immediately looked for something to drink. But unfortunately, the drink had already been finished by the man. Seeing that, the man handed her a bowl of onion soup, unintentionally becoming the catalyst for this blind date disaster. The man quickly found an excuse to leave, thinking from then on, they would have nothing more to do with each other. But their story was only just beginning. Jenny is a divorced single mom, raising two sons. She makes a living organizing women's wardrobe. Her eldest son is going through a rebellious phase, curious about all things adult. The younger son has a short temper, often has meltdowns just from losing, rolling around the floor. The two kids are mischievous and rowdy, often playing pranks at home, giving their mother constant headache. Jack works at a sporting goods store. His wife passed away from cancer a few years ago, still unable to forget her. He hasn't loved anyone for years, raising 3 daughters on his own. The lovely children are growing up strong and healthy, but none have ever grown long hair, which causes the 15-year-old eldest daughter to often be mistaken for a boy at school. That evening Jack was watching TV with his youngest daughter. She suddenly asked him a question. The eldest daughter showed up, interrupting the conversation, telling Jack she had her period, and wanted to borrow his car to go to the store. Jack wasn't at ease, so he decided to drive her himself. When they got to the supermarket, they happened to run into Jenny again. Their reunion was still filled with awkwardness. Jack noticed her, and enthusiastically walked over to say hello. Jenny put the magazine away, trying to hide her embarrassment. Realizing she couldn't hide it, she confessed that while cleaning her older son's room, she accidentally found a racy magazine under his bed. Even the model on the cover was their nanny. Curious, she tore it up, then realized she had overreacted. She began to understand her son was growing up. A little weird maybe, but as a mother, she shouldn't violate his privacy, so she decided to buy a new copy and put it back. When Jack saw the photo, he decided to help her, and with Jenny's help, he also found what his daughter needed. To avoid embarrassment at checkout, they decided to switch items, but the older cashier didn't spare their feelings, and immediately teased the two of them. Hearing that, Jack quickly clarified that the magazine wasn't his, but belonged to the woman beside him, who bought it to teach her son. Jenny was furious when she heard that. They had a loud argument outside the store and stormed off. Both of them were left with a terrible impression of each other. The next day, Jenny was discussing summer vacation plans with her kids when the doorbell suddenly rang. She opened the door to find Jack. Turns out they had accidentally swapped credit cards at the store. They hadn't had time to exchange them back yet. Then her best friend suddenly barged in, sadly telling Jenny that she broke up with her boyfriend because he had 5 children. Their planned 1-week trip to Africa was also cancelled. Jenny was unsure where to take her kids for a trip, and was overjoyed. She asked her friend to give the trip to her instead. Meanwhile, during the conversation, Jack found out her best friend's boyfriend turned out to be Jack's boss, so an idea popped into his head. He decided to buy the tickets back from his boss and take his 3 daughters to Africa to experience a distant culture and take the opportunity to relax himself. On the golden-lit streets of Africa, 3 people were hugging each other with excitement. The older son turned around and saw an unbelievable sight. Jack and his 3 daughters had also arrived. The two met again, just as tense as last time. Just as things were about to get out of hand, a hotel staff member stepped in. Because neither of them used their real name to book the ticket, they had no choice but to pretend to be one family to check in. First, the children's room came into view. It was spacious, and the kids loved it. Then they went to the double bedroom full of romantic red tone. The kids were convinced that the adults were dating. To clear up the misunderstanding, Jenny called everyone together. After a discussion, they decided that Jack and the kids would sleep in the children's room, while Jenny and her 2 sons would take the double bedroom. At dinner, everyone went to the restaurant. At the table, the handsome and melancholic Justin caught the attention of Jack's eldest daughter. Her first feelings of love were clearly stirred by the boy. Jenny didn't want to sit at the same table as Jack's family, but the staff said it was the only table available. Jenny reluctantly sat down. After eating their fill, they began the real fun. The resort offered a lot of entertainment. The kids were thrilled. They tried the thrilling wild jungle ride, the night pool party, and the lively dance floor. Jack, meanwhile, was alone, quietly paddling a small small boat on the lake. Seeing couples chatting intimately on other boat made him think of his late wife, but the boat accidentally bumped into something. When he looked down, he saw lots of crocodiles, which scared him out of his wit. At that moment, the hotel manager turned on the light. Turns out all the crocodiles were fake. Jack was scared out of his mind. Luckily, it was just a false alarm. Jenny held her sleeping son and staggered back to the hotel, watching the boy's head sway and bump into the wall like a ball. Jack couldn't help but make a snide remark. Jenny was too exhausted to argue. She quietly carried her son back to the room. The next morning, the sun had just risen. Jack was already up, eagerly getting ready to go, but the kids were still sound asleep, unwilling to get up. He went down to the hotel lobby to make coffee and happened to run into Jenny. Both of them were surprised that their tastes were so strangely similar. In the afternoon, Jack played basketball with his eldest daughter. The two cooperated well and easily won the game. When his daughter turned around, she unexpectedly saw Justin approaching, wanting to show her femininity in front of the boy. The girl suddenly started dancing awkwardly, but Jack, standing nearby, couldn't understand her strange behavior and scolded her on the spot. His daughter angrily threw the ball and walked away, because to her, her father didn't understand her at all. Meanwhile, Jenny was biking with her younger son across the African plain. Seeing everyone speeding ahead, she kept telling her son to slow down. On the way back, the two met again. The boy's head was stuck inside the helmet. Jack pulled out a small knife and quickly solved the problem with a few moves. At the same time, Jack's youngest daughter needed the bathroom and insisted Jenny go with her. In the restroom, the girl kept complaining. Jenny quickly went over to comfort her, gently wiping the makeup off her face. For the first time, the girl was touched by such gentleness and care. When they stepped outside, they saw Jack and the younger son already riding ostriches, excitedly chasing each other around the field, drawing a large crowd of onlookers. Jenny instantly became anxious. She panicked and ran over, trying to stop the mischief, but Jack didn't take it seriously, saying the staff would ensure their safety. But no sooner had he said that, Jack fell into the lake beside them. He thought his son might suffer the same fate, but the next second, the boy spun 360 degrees in midair and landed with a perfect gymnastics move. He looked like a champion, cheered on by the entire crowd. Jenny finally breathed a sigh of relief. She planned to scold her son, but he ran over and hugged her tightly, saying it was the best day of his life. Seeing her son so happy, Jenny could no longer stay mad. Jack silently mouthed, "No need to thank me." Jenny smiled and responded with an okay. On the beach, the eldest daughter was gazing at Justin. Jenny noticed what was on her mind and encouraged her to bravely go talk to him. Jenny was about to go to the hair salon, so she asked the girl if she wanted to come along to change her hairstyle a bit. On the way, Jenny heard her say that the restaurant where she first met Jack was where Jack's wife used to work. Jenny suddenly realized that behind Jack's cold appearance was actually a very tender heart. That night, the eldest daughter appeared stunning, with long hair replacing her usual edgy cut, light and fresh makeup, a deep blue dress like the ocean, paired with a delicate amber pendant. She instantly became the center of attention. Even the boy she liked couldn't help but be amazed. Jack was furious that Jenny had changed his daughter's appearance without asking. Jenny fired back, accusing him of almost endangering her son. After they both calmed down, they realized it all came from love for their children. Both apologized to each other and used a bit of humor to ease the tension of the moment. After a few days together, the two former enemies gradually began to accept each other. The next day, both families happily boarded a tour vehicle to experience the raw beauty of this land. All kinds of animals roamed freely on the vast savanna, breathing freely in the open air. Giraffes strolled leisurely. Lions and cheetahs lurked dangerously. When they stopped for a break, Justin ran over to invite the eldest daughter to hang out. He was immediately met with a knowing look from Jenny. Everyone gathered to sing and dance, immersing themselves in tribal culture. Seeing his daughter interacting closely with Justin on stage, Jack grew pensive. He wasn't sure if his decisions were right. After that, they went to the paragliding area. The kids were excited to fly right away. Jenny volunteered to go first, to test how dangerous it was. She screamed out loud in panic as she flew, but as the paraglider soared higher, and she saw the entire savanna, with its breathtaking endless scenery, her fear instantly turned into joy. But an accident happened right after. The vehicle ran out of gas and stopped on the road. Jack had to get out and yell instruction to guide her to land safely. She really looked like she was flying in the air. She finally landed safely, but Jack clearly wasn't so lucky. That night, while the kids played by the campfire, the two adults decided to go to the massage tent to relax. Once inside, they realized it was a couple's massage service. While they were still hesitating, they were both pushed inside. Under the therapist's guidance, they sat facing each other and began gently touching each other's body. After leaving the tent, they were still immersed in the feeling of the massage, unable to shake it off. As their eyes met, Jack Jack's youngest daughter popped her head out from the tent, breaking the moment between them. As they were leaving, Jenny gently kissed the girls' foreheads like a mother. The girls fell asleep in sweet dreams. The next morning, Jack was teaching the younger boy cricket. After missing many swings, the boy angrily threw his bat to the ground, emotions ready to explode. Jack told him that as an athlete, he must learn to respect his equipment. Under Jack's firm guidance, the boy made a beautiful hit. Even so, the older son still didn't accept Jack. To him, Jack would never be good enough for his mother. So, the two decided to settle it like real men. With a boxing match, they fought fiercely in the ring. Jack didn't hesitate to provoke him. That tactic worked instantly, and the boy launched a fierce counterattack. Jack used that moment to earn the older son's respect. Soon, it was the final night of their vacation. Jenny dressed elegantly for the party. Her sensual yet smart presence caught everyone's attention. The host asked all the children to leave so that the parent and couples could enjoy some private space. They even specially prepared a romantic candlelit dinner for the two. A little monkey brought them beer. They began discussing parenting. Unexpectedly, their views aligned perfectly. Without a doubt, they were both wonderful parents. They shared their past with each other, telling one another everyday stories and little things in life. During the conversation, they were deeply drawn to each other. Just as they were about to kiss, at the critical moment, Jack pulled away. Perhaps his late wife was a past he couldn't let go of, or maybe he just wasn't brave enough to start something new. Jenny understood and quietly walked away. The vacation came to an end, and they returned to their normal lives, facing the trivial things of daily life. Jack remained a dedicated employee and a hardworking father, but he carried with him a lingering concern. When his co-workers heard about what happened in Africa, they deeply regretted it, tearfully telling him he should have spoken up. His daughters also really liked Jenny. They all hoped their father would seize this chance. So Jack drove to Jenny's house. He even prepared a beautiful bouquet of flowers. He was nervous the entire way. He kept practicing his confession. After ringing the doorbell, a strange man opened the door. It turned out to be Jenny's ex-husband. After learning why Jack came, he told Jack that he had gotten back together with Jenny. Jack left in disappointment, but just as he got in his car, he passed by Jenny rushing home. They missed each other in a twist of fate. As Jenny walked into the house, she was surprised by her ex-husband's sudden confession. The man even took Jack's bouquet and gave it to Jenny as if it were from him. But Jenny had completely lost all trust in the irresponsible man who had cheated on her many times. She firmly declared they could never get back together. When Jack got home from work, he heard his middle daughter quietly crying. It turned out she had never truly believed her mom was gone until Jenny showed up beside her to soothe her wounded heart and once again let her feel a mother's love. As Jack embraced his daughter, he quietly made a decision. On Saturday, Jenny brought her younger son to a baseball game. Before the match, the boy looked around the field but couldn't find his father anywhere. It made him lose confidence and keep failing. Jenny saw it and began blaming her ex-husband. Just then, Jack's whole family arrived to cheer the boy on. With Jack's encouragement, the boy gave an outstanding performance. This also brought Jack and Jenny back together. The movie ends here, and the story closes with a warm, happy ending. Two single-parent families came together to form a new home. We can see that, for parents with young children, choosing a life partner often involves thinking about the kid. As long as you're willing to open your heart and give someone a chance and be sincere with them, you will surely find the happiness that belongs to you in this vast sea of people.